Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. We are on location today, man, with the guys.
Yo, cheers. Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Thanks for coming through the dentist office, bro.
Fucking dentist office.
This is the dentist office, man. So this is like where I do all of my studio work. It's also my apartment where I live, but like I've tried to curate it since moving in, like early 2022.
Man, this place is a fucking vibe, man.
Drawn on stuff.
Yeah, this dude's apartment
Make it happen.
equally is crazy. Like a wall to wall is filled with paintings.
I'm not gonna lie, I got into doing hip hop because the band was too hard to organize. So I was like, oh, hip hop.
Mhm.
Rap's
A
way
lot.
easier because I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Stay creative, man, and don't get burned out, and like use it as a way to channel and like be therapeutic. Definitely was it's a tool, man. Like it can be
Absolutely.
creativity can be harnessed in many ways. You know what I mean?
If I
Cheers one more time.
Cheers.
cheers, gentlemen.
Shout out
Great
Kyle
time.
and the Migs in the background.
Yo, Migs.
Shout out guys, man. Shout out to Baker's Club as well.
Yo,
Doing
shout out
great
Baker's
work in the
Club.
city. Yo, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you too, brother.
Versatile Vigilante 2024.
Hell yeah.
Fucking out here, man.
Peace.
You know it.
Thanks for putting me in your art show, man.
Yeah, it's his vinyl, bro.
This is yours?
Yeah,
His album.
That's fucking hard, bro.
Ah, you
I
little
love
sweetie
vinyl,
pie.
man. Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. We are on location today, man, with the guys.
Yo, cheers. Happy New Year, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Happy New
Happy
Year's,
New
man.
Year's,
We're-
everyone.
Thanks for coming through the dentist office, bro.
The fucking dentist office, man. Harvey Dentist and Ed Weird. Yo,
Nurse, we'll see you soon.
the nurse
Please have a
will see us soon, man.
She's in the back. She's in the back over there. Not him.
Well, his name's Guy Nurse. But that's not who you're waiting for.
I like how we were like starting this, and then we were just gonna pretend like he was background, and then that
And
was
now
just
he's
the
a
only
focal
thing we're
point.
talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
That's my muse. Is why I do what I do.
That's how.
I just want to say thank you because you reached out to me. Like your boy's with MWorks, right?
Shout out MWorks.
And then I met him through the Sixth Letter and through Raz Fresco. I'm recently signed to Baker's Club simultaneously as like doing music, but also as an artist first. So like I'm kind of began handling and collaborating with Raz on their like all their creative endeavors, where there's merch, album artwork. So like just recently a bunch of stuff has come out, and then but through all those networks and through MWorks, who's your mutual friend, he I guess spoke of me. And then connected us, right? Like, so I
Absolutely.
really appreciate you like inviting us, right?
Man.
To the art event we you had earlier in December. Yeah.
You guys saved the day, man. Ed and Harvey
Yeah.
came through. I think stole the show of the whole gallery. I think it was a fucking fire night. So yo, I appreciate you guys, man.
Good job, bro. Good job.
Fucking legendary.
Respect to you, man.
We had to do the interview to follow up too.
Yeah.
So,
Of course.
Absolutely, and it's cool. It's cool that we're doing it in my space, man. Like, yeah, it's really awesome. Yeah.
Yo, explain where we are a little bit, because we're not just in an apartment, man. We're in the fucking dentist's office.
This is the dentist office, man. So this is like where I do all of my studio work. It's also my apartment where I live, but like I've tried to curate it since moving in, like early 2022, like just as a creative space for people to come through. Mad different artists are coming through, graffiti artists, rappers, like doing recording here, and just like kind of as like a creative space. But then I'm like a massive ass like pop
He's a
culture.
fucking nerd.
yeah. A fucking
The
nerd.
best kind of nerd.
A big
The
rap
best
nerd
kind.
for sure. So I'm a avid collector. We'll rebrand it that way.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But now it's like kind of cool because my apartment is kind of taking on all these like different like rare objects and shit, and it's like it's become like a little bit of a museum.
By
right?
nerd, I meant that like the stands for something. It needs everything really dope.
Yeah. Damn.
Nah,
It was quick on this shit, man.
This place is a fucking vibe, man. When
Thanks,
we were
bro.
talking about doing the interview, you posted a
Yeah.
post of like your spot. I'm like, bro, let's do the fucking interview. here. This is
Raz
crazy.
was
Yeah,
over
man.
here because like a lot of Baker's Club will roll through here and record, or we'll just touch base and have meetings here and kind of like see what the vibe is or whatever. So Raz was here. We were working on some art that's coming out on the 19th. Like he's dropping his first single with Cookin' Soul, who's a Spanish producer. He now lives in Amsterdam. I lived in Amsterdam for about 3 years, so it was kind of cool to link up with him. But like, it's such a massive project that's coming forward, man. I'm so excited about it. But back to like, everybody's coming through here. It's dope. And then that night, you know what I mean? Like he had just like dropped Breakfast in Berlin, which was his most recent tape. which was Pocket Operators 3, I believe. So he had just brought through some merch for my birthday because my birthday just like came up. So like that's what I was like trying to rep, like the Baker's Club merch, kind of flex a little bit, and then I took a male selfie as a cry for help, but it's okay. It's okay.
Not if you're wearing your own merch.
Yeah.
Yo, you're good.
I'm comfortable with that. It's okay. When you want to be fly, it's okay. Sometimes you have to take those risks.
There's a time and a place for sure.
But then you saw it on the story, right? You saw it with the merch, right? And then you saw like all the paintings and shit and the art and whatever. And then you were like, oh, let's film here. And that's so cool, man. That you can like pick up and just drop in and shit like that. We'll have to do your podcast again though at your crib though.
Fuck yeah,
for
man.
sure.
No, you guys are very, very big parts of the city, man. So
Respect,
to
man.
do this,
Respect,
I'm
thanks,
very
man.
excited. My pleasure. And I
I
want to
never
kind
really
of.
thought of myself as that.
You are.
I'm
man.
just
You're
art.
a
I'm just
humongous part of
like, you know.
I'm gonna shut up.
Oh. Thanks.
No,
man.
facts though. You're a humongous part. And
Yo,
I wanna like kind of dig a little deeper into each of your stories.
Sure.
Too. So
Yeah, for sure.
Harvey, we're in the dentist's office. Talk a little bit about kind of how you even got into what you're doing in the first place. We'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Like, definitely a family of artists. Like, so I've been drawing and being creative since I was mad young. Like, my grandfather on my dad's side was an artist, and my grandmother on my mom's side was an artist. So it was kind of like
It's in the family.
in the blood, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I was always like really doing it, like not seriously, but like I have two older sisters, and they're both incredible artists as well, and like it was so like kind of cool growing up around that environment, like kind of thing. Like, so always working and creating, and then I just decided like I wanted to kind of break in professionally. Like, I used to work in restaurants, whatever. I'm from Hamilton originally, so I was living over there, and then eventually I moved to Toronto. Did design school, was rocking shows. I do music as well, so I was playing shows, going to design school, and then that kind of I think I graduated like 10 years ago, 2014, like, and then
Damn, shout out the decade.
yeah, shout out to old people. Keep it geriatric up in here, yo. But yeah, like, so that kind of like brought me into the professional realm, and I'd say around 2017 I really started doing professional illustration and taking it seriously. And that at that point I had moved to Amsterdam with my girlfriend at the time, so we had moved over there, and I started working for a graphic design studio that I still work for over here. Like, there's multinational studios, so we were over there. I really like, you know, got some serious projects, illustration projects, and I was touring and like just having a blast. And then, you know, COVID hits, some other shit happens, broke up with my girl, you know, like just like kind of the walls came down, and so I had to eventually come back. And I was like, okay, so I returned here in 2020, but then I just was like in this like hyper focus of like, I'm gonna kill shit forever. Like, I started like when I was still living over there, I decided I'm gonna make illustrations for all of my single art. Like, not only am I gonna have some crazy ass album art, I'm gonna do every single is gonna be like album art quality or whatever. And I started doing that for myself, and by the third or fourth one, a lot of people kept asking. So it was kind of a word of mouth thing. It was originally just for me, right? Like, it wasn't like I was trying to become that, you know what I mean? But then I moved back here, and then there was some art show at Collective. I don't know if you know, it used to be the Bomb Shelter, but yeah, so it's just like up on Spadina or whatever. So L'Amour Supreme was coming through there, and L'Amour Supreme is the incredible artist, graffiti artist, and he did all the art for Czarface, which is, you know, there's all those action figures up there, but it's like Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang Clan, Esoteric, and Savanel from Boston. And I just did a song with Esoteric at the time. They hadn't released yet, so it was kind of like, this is a crazy time to like connect on multiple levels with this. And then at that event, Raz Fresco ended up being at that event, and a homie introduced me to them. And then we eventually were like, okay, well, I do music, he does music and I do art, so like, why don't we trade like a couple beats or something like that for some art? And then eventually it's like a couple more beats, a couple more covers, and then eventually like it's just become this like dope dynamic, right? And then now I think I've almost done every single Baker Club member, not every single one, but very close to different art for them, like Funk Low, The Sixth Letter, Gritfall, of course, shout out to Grit, like, and then Raz as well, right? So that's kind of snowballed, and then like their momentum, like Baker's Club is such a positive thing. It's such a group of talented people that are uncompromising, and they're fucking awesome, right? Like, and they're just good to be around. So like we all just feed off of each other and just get better and better, faster and faster. And like I said, now we're about to drop, like that was like 2021 when we met, and now it's like 2 years later, we're about to drop the craziest shit ever. Like, so I'm very excited for this year.
I fucking love that, bro.
Yeah.
Your story is very dope. Example of just being self-sufficient. Like, yo, I'm making music. I also design. Let me do my own designs for my music.
Yeah,
and it snowballs. I love that, bro.
And that was a slow process for sure. Like, it was definitely, when I moved back, I learned how to record myself. I got my recording setup and engineering equipment, like, whereas I would be more relying on someone for a music situation or other situations, but just because of that tough time and all that shit that happened, like, I just had to become militant and like self-sufficient and to just like kind of like restart, you know what I mean?
sure.
So then, and then building from that, like,
Showed
then
that
now,
strength.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
It's the
facts.
best way, man. The foundation is so strong that way, you know? It's fucking...
Yo, you're like the
I love
couch
that.
guy from Half Baked.
yeah, facts. Facts.
You gotta take a nap, bro.
And shout out composed by Kyle in the back, too.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Shout out
Migs,
Kyle,
shout out
yes.
Migs, bro.
And shout out Migs.
Migs.
Incredible MC,
yeah.
bro. Incredible.
Incredible
fucking-
human being.
Yeah, and then we all met like we were doing shows like 10 years ago. These guys were a part of a super group called Smoking Section, a rap group, and then I was just
Yeah.
doing my own thing.
Shout out to
And
Seven.
then- yeah, all of those dudes, bro, and ladies.
Times. Yeah.
Whole team.
But we kind of like linked like a decade ago, but weren't like close homies like that. Like we knew each other through music and through doing shows or whatever. And then when I moved back, like just randomly, like I think you posted some funny shit on Instagram, and I was just like, "Yo,
We're
pull
eating
up."
mushrooms.
Yeah. No, you had like mushrooms
Yeah.
on printer paper or something
Yeah,
written
I
in printer
had
paper
a
on your
sign.
wall.
There,
Yeah,
I came
yeah,
up in
yeah.
an Instagram story somewhere at my house, and in the background there was a sign on the wall that just
Yeah.
said shrooms.
And I was like,
And
sick.
he's like, oh, so he was watching the story, he's like, oh shit, oh yeah, Ed Weird.
yeah, look,
So yeah,
friendship, and then like they
Friendship.
came through, yeah. And then a bunch of these guys, we reconnected when we reconnected when I moved back, and then like it's been this dope thing here, like a lot of different artists coming through, but like it was sick to reconnect with them after moving back, right? And now like, yeah, and I didn't know that Ed did art, and then like eventually, like as we got to know each other better, like he's he did the show
yeah.
with us. He's a crazy ass painter and whatever. So like it was like all of these little things, like timing
Just
and lining up
natural
shit.
universe.
Like yeah, it's dope,
for real,
bro.
the universe lined it
Yeah,
up.
And I
yeah.
think that is a great time to hear the Ed Weird
Yeah, that was a good segue, right? I'm not
origin story. That was a great
Yeah,
segue.
All right,
Put it up,
the
bro.
Ed Weird origin story. I was born and raised in St. Catharines, Ontario. Shout out the hometown. And you know, I always growing up felt like it was a vortex that would either suck you in and keep you there forever if you didn't get out early and
Okay.
like do something. And I always had a passion for music, and I wanted to be in a band, but I'm terrible at playing instruments. So
Oh, sport.
terrible at instruments. But I like to weave a tale. I like to be wordsmith when I can. Right? Got into poetry and shit as a kid. So I decided I'll also try and sing for bands. So I wound up getting myself into a band. We got a house together in Brampton. And the band wasn't making any money, so everybody had to get jobs and stuff. And through my job at Canadian Tire at the Shoppers World Mall in Brampton, I met my good friend Dosey. Shout out
Fire,
Dosey.
shout
And
out.
he through various parties
All
and
those
stuff, he
motherfuckers.
introduced me to a whole scene of people that I didn't know, and a lot of musicians, a lot of really cool people. And then the band fell apart. And as a poor, broke individual, I moved back to fucking St. Catharines to live in my parents' basement because, you know, it happens to the best of us.
Been there.
So,
Been
you know,
there.
get my feet back up under me, trying to figure things out, flipping fries in the back of a fucking trailer next to the Welland Canal. I get a call from a fairly estranged cousin saying, hey, man, are you doing anything this weekend? I'm like, no. He's like, do you want to work on a TV show? Like, what the fuck do you talk? I'm like, what? What do you, huh? He's like, well, my job is just watching sets overnight. Like, you're just going to have to sit in your car and watch pylons, basically. I was like, yeah, I can do that. Like, yeah. So I drove to Toronto, and I didn't go home. I slept on his couch until a funny story I don't want to tell happened.
Okay.
And I wound up living in my car till it started
Scene
getting
deleted.
cold. But while I
Yeah,
did that, I met a lot of people through the film industry. I built myself a little career there, and then you know, got my feet under me, got an apartment, and as a musician, I still was making music the whole time throughout the whole process because I fancy myself a rapper, I suppose. And
yeah,
through
bro.
playing shows and doing that kind of stuff, I met Harvey and hooked up with Smoking Section and met all these great people, and cool things were happening, and I had a burgeoning film career. It was fucking great. And then what happened? The Smoking Section kind of broke up, but it still kept rapping and stuff. And through that, I like music kind of hurt. When Smoking Section first broke up, it was like music felt like a knife, kind of. I was like,
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a double-edged sword because I couldn't write bad things that I don't mean or things that hurt me, and I don't want to do either of that.
Right.
So I had to find something else to express myself. So I really started focusing on art because I've gone through a tattoo apprenticeship under one of my cousins, and so I got the basics of art down. So I really started leaning into painting and stuff like that. And I don't paint stuff; I paint how I feel and things like that, right? So I just kind of grew that way and kept playing music, and then Harvey moved to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So we kind of lost touch
Yeah.
for that, and just kept musicking and painting and focusing really hard on my film career. And I just kind of climbed the ladder. I started working on feature films. I started getting my names coming up in credits on like Netflix shows and like movies and stuff. I've helped win Oscars. I've helped win Emmys. I worked on several seasons of The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, he's worked on some
Like,
crazy
yeah,
shit, bro. Some of the stories, man.
I've done some pretty cool shit. I
Yeah.
watched the boys blow up an airplane hangar. It was sick.
Yo, that's wild.
Like, yo, it's awesome. Like, it's a really neat job. It's a cool career. I'm so glad the strike's over, so I can get back to work.
Yo, facts.
Yeah.
I got
Facts.
something really cool I'm looking down the barrel of right now that I can't talk about while the camera's on.
Non-disclosure.
Yeah,
Non-disclosure.
NDAs
Yeah.
and whatnot. But yeah, I'm looking down the barrel of something really cool right now. So just hung out in the music scene, just making music, plugging away, doing the thing, trying to make it ends meet in Toronto because it's expensive.
Fuck yeah.
Harvey moves back and sees me in an Instagram story, sees a shroom sign, and next thing I know, he's
Like,
in my
hey.
DMs like, "Hey man, I live in Toronto again." I was like, "Yo,
This guy's all right."
holy fucking Harvey Dennis, man!"
It's a pro mushroom podcast.
I don't know.
Fuck
Yeah.
My word, it took less than a couple of days, and I walked over to the dentist's office, and I've been
Yeah,
coming here
yeah.
like several times a week since. We just hang out.
Yeah,
we
it
make
was like
music, we
this
make art.
last summer, or like was it July?
Yeah, it was just this past
July?
2023, bro.
Yeah, it was 2023.
Fucking love that.
Yeah,
It
it's
all
been
exploded in
mad.
2023. That's I guess that's kind of my story.
I love
just,
it,
I just
man.
love. I just
Yeah,
kept
man.
getting canvas after canvas, just painting on everything I could, and drawing on stuff.
Yeah,
Just kinda-
this dude's apartment
Make it happen.
equally is crazy. Like the whole wall to wall is filled with paintings, like different
Love it.
sizes. Like it's like literally all gridded out. Like like I have some action figures and shit, but like it's like your whole shit
like
is.
my whole.
Well,
apartment is
yeah, like it's like all that
But
wall to
everywhere,
wall,
man.
though. Like, and it's like big pieces. Like you had that. How big was that piece you had in the show?
4 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah, it's wild. We
That
couldn't
was
get
such
we couldn't
sick.
we got it there in an Uber XL, and there were never we had to take the streetcar
had to
because
go on
there
the
was just
streetcar
like
home.
all these mid-sized sedans claiming
Rated.
XL, and I'm like, yo, you're faking the funk, bro. Like
Yo.
that's not XL.
I can't get my painting in your fucking SUV.
If I can't get
Get
my
a van.
giant 4-foot painting in your car, how unreasonable.
That makes me
How
appreciate you guys even more, man.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
willing to do that is fucking sick.
Yeah, man.
I love it. And you know what I love about both your stories is you both had ups and downs, but you kept
For sure.
doing what you love to do.
Absolutely.
And it turns around, bro. I think that's a great life
man.
lesson, you know?
Stay creative, man, and don't get burned out, and like use it as a way to channel and like be therapeutic. Definitely was it's a tool, man. Like it can be
Absolutely.
creativity can be harnused in many ways. You know what I mean? For
If
different
I may.
purposes. Yeah, please do.
my job in the film industry, like I'm in the locations department. I work pretty long hours. Like, it's not unusual for me to work 18 hours a day, 5 days a week. So, downtime is precious.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to go out and like shred and party because I need recuperation time. So
Facts.
it's like art, just like
Yeah.
hermetically seal myself in, just make art. That's how it like blossomed.
And that's good to like not have idle time. Like that's something I've talked with Baker's Club cats.
Yeah.
Just like about being like
Don't watch TV. Do
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
make
yeah.
stuff.
Like you like breaking down my day. Like I work 9 to 5 at this design studio, and it's like okay, so and then you sleep.
Yeah.
So like technically that's kind of like 2/3 of your life are already
Real
consumed
shit.
into necessities. So then what are you doing for that other third? And then it's just like, are you gaming over there, wasting your life,
right? Oh,
or are you
Yo,
or are you maximizing your energy?
I
That's
get
a great
invites
point,
to
though,
join like film
man.
joke groups. I'm like, yo, and I'm not at work. I don't want to be seeing that shit at my feet. I keep working life separate.
you gotta have different shit.
Yeah.
You gotta have different shit in life, man.
That's what's
Variety.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
but
what's
it's
cool about
variety
music
is the
too.
spice
Like
of
doing
Absolutely.
like jumping between music and art. Like one kind of recharges and is inspiring in a different
Yes.
way, and like so you can be burned out on art, and then you're like, oh, I can go write a song, and then like get to a beat, and then do it that like. and then I kind of like cycle between those, right? It's kind of like, okay, you just worked on a album cover for 3 or 4 weeks straight, and now my eyes are falling out. You know what I mean? I don't want to stare at the screen anymore. So you kind of like, okay, let me take a few days to. It's good to have downtime too. Don't get me wrong, but also just like if you can have a downtime and still be productive and creative in a different facet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's
absolutely.
like yeah.
I think you're absolutely right, man. It's an easy trap to fall in where it's like, oh, I'm tired from work. I'm just gonna watch Netflix and fall asleep. Okay, but
fuck that.
there's other like
Where's the sense of fulfillment?
Exactly.
When, at the end of the day,
Exactly.
is there anything to be
not
proud
easy.
of when the TV goes
and
off?
there's a lot of people that do that. They just kind of
Absolutely.
check out. They're just like, okay, and then they wake up and they're not Harvey Dennis and Ed Weird. You
Facts.
know, like,
And that was
you
the
know, like-
vortex I felt like I needed to get out of as a kid. I felt like that region was just like people. I was looking around at people, and suddenly a 15-minute drive seemed like a day trip to them. They need to pack a lunch for it. Like
Yeah.
Toronto was a different country
Yeah.
to them. I'm
Don't
like,
even say
no,
Toronto.
it's not though. It's an
Yeah.
hour drive. Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking
Then
about?
that
There's
was
so
like-
much world to experience.
and that was like me moving. Well, I'd never like traveled at all before I even moved there. Like I maybe like went. I went to a few other countries or whatever, like the year, like right before I moved. But then I moved and I was like, oh, this is like a 6-hour plane ride. This is like going to Montreal in a car.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
and it took so much to get some Canadian cat. Not everybody, like there's cool people too, but like there's like a lot of people were like, oh, like it's just like their perspective is like, oh, that's such a crazy thing, you know what I mean? And then it's like, no, like you can just hop on a plane, bro, and then you're here. And
Facts. I feel like
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you do
once
shit,
you do it, when you
realize
got,
it's not that crazy.
I was the
and
same
you're like,
way.
oh,
I
we
was
can
the
do
same way
more.
too, right? Like I was just like,
Absolutely.
oh, you know, like I'll just stay here, I guess, staycation, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like, but yeah, no, like once you get a sense for it and you get like, and you expand your parameters, and then you're like, oh, come on, bro. And then like people are already leaving the city, bro. They're like
Right.
staying
Yeah.
in their hometown
You,
and
le-
shit
you
like
learn
that.
the most about yourself when you take yourself out of your element.
There you
Absolutely.
go. There you go.
Right?
You gotta make
Then-
yourself uncomfortable.
Exactly.
facts.
Learn to adapt. Then you learn what you care about.
Yep.
You learn to divide what you're trying to impress people with and what you actually do care about.
Hmm.
And then you analyze the people that you think you're trying to impress.
It's like it doesn't
And
matter.
then you know that then all of a sudden you're growing up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Literally everybody goes through this, but some
Yes.
people can't wrap
Mm-hmm.
their head around it.
You're absolutely right, man.
Facts.
Experience. It's
Not-
not life experience.
Yeah, man.
at the
But
end
not
of the
I
day.
guess not everybody's creative. Some people
No.
people aren't like that. And shout out to them. I hope they live a long, happy life.
What
too.
got you? Like, what got you into this? Like, starting the podcast.
Similar
and-
type of shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
kind of what you were describing of not wanting to get caught in that vortex. Like, I started working a 9 to 5 after school, and I found myself like living for the weekends and wanting, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, man, there's more to this, you know.
That's a
And
phase in life.
it's a phase, and it's like the podcast specifically. It was something that was starting to like bubble a bit, like early No Jumper and shit like that. I don't know if you guys are fans of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
but,
I know that,
And like
yeah, yeah.
Rogan and all those guys. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I always loved art, man. And podcast was like, okay, I just need a mic and a,
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
computer. Like I have that.
I don't
already.
know many
Let's
art
just do it.
podcasts though, so it's sick.
But that's just like, over time.
Also,
over
maybe
time,
I'm not
bro.
looking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I just. I'm sure there's a lot of dope ones. You know what I mean? That's more my point. But
I
like,
think
it's sick. Like,
I think it just goes back to starting. I didn't know what
Yeah.
this was gonna look like. I had fucking no idea. Man.
That's
I was
the
in my
scariest
parents'
part.
basement and doing recording my what the fuck, you know. But life goes on. You get better. You keep trying shit,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the common thread for a lot of people that enjoy what they do. Like you just kept doing it.
yeah, you're doing it anyway for
You're
better or
doing it
worse,
anyway.
and that's like us, right? Like, we
Facts.
can all speak to that, right? As we just like discussed, right? Like, it's just like this is like a necessity in my life to create.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, and if it's a different form. And I always tell people like, doesn't matter if you're just doodling. So I talk to some people like, you know, who are just like, oh, it's just a hobby. I'm like, that's okay. Like, it's so healthy to just do it. Like,
Yeah.
even if like you're not like, like, you know what I mean? Just fucking do it,
Absolutely.
and then you can get better and. Or figure out that you don't want to do it. and then try
I
something
do
else,
think
right?
that's
You
like
know?
another trap of like, oh, but what if I'm not good and then I never try?
Yeah.
You can't think that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You gotta,
That's
you
the
gotta
fear of
try.
starting,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. How'd you decide on Amsterdam?
It was like this crazy shit. So my ex, she's from Russia. She's from Moscow, and then she lived over here. And then we were just like gonna go on a trip. Like we were going like. I went to Moscow, and then I went to Thailand after Moscow, and that was the first time I traveled.
Some interesting
And it was
places.
just like the first place I traveled to was Moscow. And then my boy Hot Rocks, who's a part of my like hip hop, like it used to be a band, like in early stages when I was working with
shout
these
out
guys.
to Grandmaster.
Scram.
Yes.
You know this, Hot Rocks.
You don't know, but that's a perfect impression.
He talks like cigarettes in a cement mixer. No offense, bro. He's like fucking dentist. No, but he's so Hot Rocks. Hot Rocks is like a dope MC. He's an Irish MC, and like he grew up in Luxembourg. He's like part British Irish, but from Europe. But then came over here during that time period when I was working with these guys, like early 2010s, and then he eventually moved back. Like he was there for 3 or 4 years, I think. Same kind of stint as I did in Amsterdam, but then he moved back and he was like, oh, I'm gonna make this Rolodex of like touring, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like no offense to him at all, like, but like just most people, like, they say things, then you're like, sure, buddy, like, we'll see. And he did it. He fucking did it. Like, so like I went. So this is the other part. So I was going to Russia, but then I had a layover in Amsterdam. Like a 10-hour layover. So then I linked up with Hot Rocks and Wolf or Blanco Benz. Or shout out to Wolf. Max, my homie Max from Amsterdam. So he like worked for a sick coffee shop there, like a weed shop there, and he's an amazing producer. So like during that layover, I went down to Central Station, and then like Hot Rocks grabbed me, and we went to the studio, and I recorded 3 songs during my layover. It was insane. It was nuts. Crazy. And then I hopped on a plane to Russia. But then like
awesome.
I swear to God though, this is so fucked up, but it's like Google shit. Like it's like creepy, like your phone is spying on you, because we got back from that trip. It was like 3-week trip or whatever. Got back, and I was just like, yo, Amsterdam's really beautiful. Like we should go there or something. It's dope. And I swear to fucking God, she got headhunted from a company in Amsterdam.
Holy.
Like a week later, and they paid for everything. They gave us like 5,000 euros to move there, like a fucking spending money, like for everything, and like. Got my visa, got her visa, like, so everything. So it was kind of like,
that's a lottery, bro.
Yeah, it was like,
fuck yeah.
So, served on a silver platter, so to speak. You know what I mean?
And first line that up.
It went great.
sounds like a smooth transition.
But there was so many positives and a lot of negatives, but like a lot of growth through our experience and shit. But it was so dope because we could just. Me and Hot Rocks were there, and he got me and my girl our first apartment there. Like he hooked us up, like, and then like we went on tour. All around Europe, like, so we went to like all my homies in Luxembourg. Shout out to the Label, what up? And then we went to all around the Netherlands. We went to the south of France. We were performing in Cannes. We were performing in Spain, like Barcelona and Valencia, and like I think some spots in France as well. Like it was just kind of. But the dope thing is Amsterdam's right there, so it's like a nexus point for Europe. So you can take like. A 60 euro flight and you're in Spain in 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like it's like crazy. So you just had like all these crazy situations that could transpire and shit. And then like we'd like chill with J. Rue the Damager. Like Hot Rocks became friends. J. Rue, like come clean and shit. Like he would like
awesome.
One time we linked up with him and Hot Rocks knew him from like several other parties. Like they had this some hilarious camaraderie going on. And then he like took us on a pub crawl. Like you know what I mean? I smoked weed. Shout out to Max in Gray Area Coffee Shop. Like I smoked weed with Woody Harrelson.
Oh.
He like came in. I didn't have my glasses on, so I was blind as fuck. And I was just it's around the block from where I live, so I was just like going to get weed, and then I stayed there to smoke a blunt. And then or just joint or whatever, and then some dude came in and I just couldn't see shit, but it was just like talking back and forth like oh haha, and like joking and whatever, and he's like, what's your name, bro? And I'm like, oh, I'm Duncan, man, what's up? Like just like saying this and that, and then I'm like we're all smoking a joint. I'm like, that guy really looks like Woody Harrelson, like this is crazy. And then like it was and then that's everybody started awesome. To realize too, this is what's so crazy, everyone started to realize. So like everyone was trying to get photos. He was just kind of like, I think the only saving grace I had is I couldn't see who it was, so I didn't act like a psychopath. Right. You know what I mean? So I acted like a normal person.
He was probably like, oh, this is chill.
Yeah, cool, there was
guy.
Finally.
This couple, I swear to God, this couple came off the street with their child, and then it's illegal to have a minor in a coffee shop in Amsterdam, right? So they're like, what are you doing? You can't bring your kid in here. And I swear they did not break eye contact with Woody Harrelson, and they shoved their kid into the streets of Amsterdam. It was like this little boy, and I was just like, and I remember looking at Woody and just being like, he was like, did you see that shit, bro? And he was like, I gotta go. See you later. Like see you later, pal. I was like, but like a million experiences like that just by proximity. You know what I mean? Like it's just like same here, right? Like living like downtown Toronto, like. Yeah. There's been so many times I popped out my door and I like bumped into people, like famous people or like people that in my label or whatever, like people like
Notable cats.
Yeah. I don't want to give out locations, but you know, like just like in proximity enough where you're just like, I literally walk out in front of my step and I bump into someone. I'm like, oh, what's up? And then it's like, oh, I got a feature, you know, in the works, you know, or stuff like that, or an art project and shit. But
It's real, bro.
Yeah.
Being like, I don't want to say like in the mix, but just like being out sometimes is
it's important.
it is
It is.
important, man.
You gotta have feet on the ground,
You
man.
do.
Yeah.
The social media is awesome, but the face-to-face natural connection, I think, is still the strongest. You know?
Hot
Big
Rocks
time.
instilled that in me. He was like, you know, like you might not want to sometimes, but it's really important to show face and like be a part of the community that you're
Yeah.
claiming to be a part of. You know what I mean? Why, if you're only on the internet being a part of this community, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
are you
quite the
really
same.
truly organic? You know what I mean? Yeah. So that is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Are you supporting the scene if you never go to
Yeah.
a show?
Exactly. And I don't think you have to do much. Just be like
Yeah.
a positive, like,
Yeah.
just be cool. You know? And I think a lot will come from that, to be honest.
There's one thing I've learned. It's don't shit on something someone's enjoying while they're enjoying it.
100%.
For the love of God, keep your mouth shut at least until it's over. Then let him have it if he really has to.
Yeah.
But just
But give
let
it a
him enjoy-
chance.
Just
Yeah.
let him
Yeah,
enjoy.
yeah.
Hear it to the end. Who knows?
100%, man.
No, for sure.
No, I fucking love that, bro. And coming back to Toronto from Amsterdam, did you feel like it was like a reverse culture shock? Like you get used to Amsterdam and then oh, fuck.
It was. I don't know how to describe it. It was just like kind of like there's pros and cons to both. You know what I mean? Like, so there were certain aspects that I was like, oh, I missed that, but then certain aspects I'm like, oh, it's dope to be here. And then like, I feel like when I moved here originally, like first 8 or 10, I think I lived here like eight years when moving from Hamilton originally, like
Right.
2010 to like 2000, yeah, like 2017, like late, so like almost 8 years. But like just like I feel like I was in school. I was kind of on the surface of this
Right.
of the city culture here, and then moving back, I just like completely jumped head first into it. So like at first I was like, damn, I want to get back to Amsterdam, you know, but then the pandemic happened, and you know, Amsterdam is not what it is anymore. Like in a lot of places,
Yeah.
right? Like, but just the vibe is off, and then a lot of the homies I know, like Hot Rocks lives in France now. My other boy, like everyone, like the network is kind of like everyone's moving on, so to speak, sort of thing. And then so much positive shit is happening here for me. So like now I'm just like, yo, this is it, man. It's dope here for better or worse, but
I agree.
it would be cool to live in Europe again, for sure.
It's always nice to move around a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. But like we talked about it before the camera was on. We talked about it at the gallery. Like the Toronto scene is fucking lit, man. Like there's so much talent, so many
Film
cool
shit,
people.
like-
So much, yeah,
Film.
Yeah,
Every thriving
yeah.
film industry when it's not on
Absolutely.
strike, we absolutely do. We shoot Oscar-winning features.
All
we
the
shoot
time.
Emmy-winning series. All the time.
All the time, bro.
People
Great
don't
artists.
realize the stuff that was filmed here. I was like in my 30s when I heard that X-Men was filmed in Toronto.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Did you know that? The first X-Men
I
movie
didn't,
was filmed here.
but I love the first X-Men. The
That-
first
that
X-Men was
original
so
one,
good,
bro.
man.
So Yeah, good. man.
Do you remember the DVD packaging of that? By
Like the
any-
silver
Yo,
foil
bro,
and
crazy.
shit.
I got
I'm
the
a
comic
packaging
book.
designer, bro. I definitely
Yo,
nerd
you
out on
know
that
that
shit.
one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still got the
Crazy.
comic book that came out when the theatrical release dropped.
I
Like
love
at the
that,
movie
man.
theater?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Like the Pokemon the movie Mew.
Super sick. Shout out Baker's Club because you guys
Respect, bro.
always have like you put out a project and you have like a piece of merch to sell or you got like a piece of art with it. I fucking love that, bro. Like the
Yeah,
having a physical thing is still cool. I don't care what anyone
yeah.
says. Everything Netflix, all this shit, okay, but yo, to have a fucking Ed Weird vinyl, bro.
That's a weird art
Ed
right
Weird
there.
art, Ed Weird rapping,
I only
like
pressed
That's
100.
dope, bro.
having a physical
This
copy
too,
of
like
something
this-
is so sick.
Yeah, check this
I
shit.
fucking love it, man.
I'm
This
excited to
one
listen
too?
to it, bro.
This was like the first project I did with Raz Fresco. It's
And
called
you-
777.
You did this.
Yeah, I designed
Yo,
the whole
that is
vinyl back
fucking
and front.
crazy,
I
man.
literally designed the how it was printed and everything like that. Like, but that was kind of like what set off Baker's Club. My relationship with Baker's Club.
Yo, see this. This is why I fuck with you guys, man. I
Yeah,
love
man.
this type of shit. This is art. This is
Yeah, check
Man,
this
that
too.
is-
Check this.
I
shit.
love
I would say
I
that's
fucking
my
love it.
current magnum opus.
Nah, this
so
is
I had to
crazy.
come
And
in
it was
with
cool
some
because
sort
this is the
of-
I love it,
producer.
man.
This is
I
Pickup
fucking love it.
I haven't pressed
Broskovic.
anything
Yeah, like he's
physical for any of my other projects. Just
Yeah, look at this.
special. Oh man,
It's painted like I designed
Neon
like,
yellow.
yeah, and there's 5 different colors. So there's like a purple one, a red
Crazy.
one. I forget how many, but I think there's 5. But yeah, like you literally, I painted this like, and
I
then
fucking love that.
so you can see all the textures on it and shit. It was such a cool project. And then Figa Broskovic who's this amazing hip hop producer from Germany, produced this album with Raz. So it's like fully produced by him for Raz or whatever, or collaboration with Raz. And then I find out that Hot Rocks knows Figga, and then all my buddies from Luxembourg have done shows with him. So it was like a kind of like
Natural.
whoa, like a full circle moment, like you know what I mean, small world moment, man.
Right.
So it was super cool. Yeah,
No, I love it, man. I fucking love what you guys are doing. It reminds me. I don't know if you guys are music fans, like
hell yeah,
the,
of course.
like the Factory back in the day, Andy Warhol. You remember that shit?
No,
That
tell
was
me.
like in the 60s and 70s. Basically,
Little bit.
artists like Lou Reed and all those guys.
Yes, okay, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, rock stars, artists, fucking everyone else, painters. They'd all chill
Oh, it's like a
together.
collective.
Yeah.
That's what Baker's
and
Club
that's
is, man.
what Baker's Club
Yeah,
reminds me
yeah,
of, and
yeah.
it's so attractive to me, man. Like just cool shit all together.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
that's making cool shit that it's cool with each other just kind
Exactly.
of comes together into a spot and brings the cool shit that they made.
love
And now
that,
they're in
man.
a cool space full of cool shit.
Yes.
People. And
love
where
it.
else would you want to be?
And I've
Where
spoke
else would
on
you
yeah
wanna
with
be?
Raz, like I've spoke on that where it's like he's made a point where it's like this isn't a record label, like you know what I mean, like it is, but it's like there's so many more facets to it, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a creative energy, a creative space. Like we're creating art that is or it will be separate from musical projects altogether, right? Like so it's just like producers, like beat makers, artists, rappers, like you know we're trying to like cover all of these different things, like this Venn diagram of different creative aspects, you know what I mean? Like, and it's
Merch,
been
clothes.
yeah, merch, clothes. Like, shout out to Bill Yasko. I just did the cream tape art.
Yes. Saw you posted about that.
It's up
That art's
there, you
fire.
know. It's like the Super Saiyan, the Uzaru apes or whatever.
Crazy.
But Billy Yasko's from Buffalo, whatever. He's like Buffalo Kids, you know, and like he's affiliated with like West Side Gun and those like he's good buddies with Gun.
Yep.
But he has a brand called Zen Cafe. I don't know if you heard of it or yeah, Cafe
gonna check it
Season,
out.
I think, or whatever. Anyway, it's like a dope ass brand, and he's been killing it. He just got to deal with New Era, like to sell it in their store in Buffalo and shit like that. So we're gonna be doing an official collab with him, with his cafe brand in Baker's Club. So like I've been handling the behind the scenes. I've literally designed fabric. Like we've made our own camouflage, custom camouflage based on both brands, and like kind of as an homage to like Bape and like streetwear of their
Yeah.
because that's the whole album is like a love letter to streetwear and like that time period and like Lil Wayne, you know, and the giant like like just flexing and shit like that. So like it's cool to start collaborating with those brands. And then he's like was good friends of rest in peace to Virgil Abloh, like the head who was the head of Louis Vuitton. So he was like really good friends with him. So it's just like to be brushing shoulders with people who are the head of Louis, or I don't know the exact title, but you know what I mean, who are a big mover and shaker at a major high-end brand. It's just like, you know, like there's a lot more to come, you know. I'm very
Special,
excited.
man.
I'm very excited to just keep growing and keep it moving, right? Like, you know, like what's
Okay.
next? Let's just keep getting better, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
limitations. You know, who knows what you're capable of?
Fucking ain't right.
I don't
Sky's
want to
the
think
fucking
about
limit.
it.
Yeah, just keep going, man. Just keep going. I fucking love that. And,
Yeah, man.
and the streetwear too. Like another thing I like about what you guys do is hip hop was always like there was the breakdancing back in the day, graffiti. Like it was never just rapping.
No, it was a
rapping's
whole
block
party. It's a culture.
It's a
party.
culture, and
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's what you guys are doing really emphasizes that nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
awesome.
I rap, but I do more than that too.
Exactly.
It's like contributing to multiple disciplines at once, you know, like just trying to do our part, right? Like,
100%, man.
yeah, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I got into doing hip hop because the band was too hard to organize. So I was like, oh,
I've heard
rap's
that a
way
lot.
easier because I could do it by myself.
I didn't say that either too. Like I started through graffiti. That was like my
Oh,
start.
dope.
Like so I was like very young, like in grade 4 or 5, like starting graffiti, and then I did that throughout high school. And I still can get busy, but I don't want to. I don't
Tagging
want
up
to.
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Fuck with that.
just bringing the property values even lower than they were. You know,
As you should.
but like I don't want to claim to be a graffiti artist now. I'm definitely like a multi-disciplined individual, but like I know like that can get some type of way, so I don't want to like
Yeah.
I'm up everywhere, but I'm not writing like that. Like I've just kind of like not moved on. It's still a part of me, and it's still what inspires me, and like I love to like take it in the city and shit like that. And I tag every day, you know what I mean? Like in here I'm always
Yeah.
sketching and doodling or whatever, but like it was cool like taking those elements and taking just like the Cream tape, like it's all like Dragon Ball influence, like stuff when we were kids. You know what I mean? Like all the pop culture and like kind of fusing it into a style, like a hybrid style. And that's kind of what I've been doing. It's been cool. Yeah.
I love it, man. That's
Yeah.
growth as well. You don't always have to do what you were doing. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a
yeah,
evolution
yeah,
happens,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah.
keep doing the same thing over and over and over.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. But that is a fun part of my life, man. And like definitely where I was like, oh, yep, this is it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? When you're like a kid and you're like kind of figuring out, you're like, oh, is this music? Is it this? Or is it? And then I was just like, it's done. Like a done deal, man.
100%.
Running around hanging off bridges and shit. Almost dying.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
you're still here.
Yeah,
You made it.
exactly.
So, yo, we talked about it a little bit. You guys were part of the art gallery that happened in December.
Yeah, it was awesome.
She Said Gallery, very versatile art gallery. You guys had a good time at that?
Bro, it was the best. Are you kidding me? It was the
Fucking
best
love
art
that.
show I've ever been to in my life. And I'm not just saying that because I was a part of it. Like, it was amazing. You did everything right. It was such a smooth experience. And the fact that you had it set up like
Yeah.
the free entry, the free wine bar
yeah.
at the back, the catering, everything was
bar was
delicious and it was all
classy. It
free.
was nice.
Shout out to
Everything
nice.
you had an open bar and it didn't turn into a riot. Bro,
Yeah.
kudos.
And we were talking
It was
about this.
so
I think we
beautiful,
were like
man.
the liquor selections. I'm like, I see it's only chill ass wine, like sleepy time drinks. And it's
Yes.
just like, yeah, that
You
was
know,
by
it's-
design. Yeah.
Bro, I
It was a perfect vibe.
I appreciate that, man.
The place was packed.
And
We
then
packed
you
that
told me,
bitch out.
and then you told me, you're like, oh, that was like my first event, and I was like, it's like this guy's been doing events for years, man.
Yeah.
I've never, like us doing it with shady promoter. I know it's not the same thing, but like you know, you just like go into a situation, and you assume professionalism, and then
Yeah.
you're like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
like what is happening?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, we'll see how it goes, you know, like, and then it was just like, flawless night, man. Good job.
I appreciate you
Flawless.
guys. I appreciate
Yeah, yeah,
that. Yo, like that's another example of what we were talking about. Of Toronto has so much fucking good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It does.
I get kind of tired sometimes of hearing the Toronto. It's no support. Like
yeah.
It's there.
It's there,
It's there.
but there's a whole other way
Yeah.
to look at it as well.
Don't
you
be,
know?
There's
don't
lots
be a
of different
pussy.
things.
Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy. Like,
Just keep making shit.
Just keep
That's the
making
thing, what we were
shit.
talking about, right? Like, there's some people that'd be like, oh, and that's normal and human, like to be discouraged by like
Yeah.
negative, toxic shit. But like, we're just like,
fuck it.
we're doing this anyway.
doing it.
And also,
who
like-
cares? Like, I don't care what you say. Yeah.
Go to stuff.
Go to
Don't
stuff,
just stay
yeah.
home. Go to
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah,
The weather
yeah,
was
yeah.
nice. Go to stuff.
yeah.
It was free. You never know what kind of night you might have. If you didn't know anything about it and you saw the flyer on Instagram, and you're like, oh
through.
shit, that's like 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
I could walk by it. It's free to get in.
I like
you
that-
also could have got free food, free drinks, and hung
Yeah.
out with like fucking 80 cool people.
Yeah.
Oh, the catering.
Or
Or,
you could've stayed
not, it
home
wasn't
that much.
catered, right? It was one of the artists that
They,
did.
yeah. Shout out Meredith Lum.
Yeah.
Yo,
She
shout
killed
out.
it.
Yo, that was
Gangster.
fucking.
She had the
awesome.
octopus.
Shout out to the octopus.
Yeah, the
too.
fucking
Fuck
plushie
yeah.
or
Oh, we
whatever.
didn't eat octopus.
Yeah. Yeah, that was out of context. I was just like, there was no seafood there in the
No,
laundry.
it was delicious.
Seafood in the
That would
laundry
have
mat
been
is
maybe
not
a
it,
little
yeah.
too much, you know?
Yeah,
but
yeah. But I liked how it was a laundromat. That was what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah,
It was
it
so
came with a
cool. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. Like, you know
That's
what
what
I mean?
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I like underground shit. I like a
Yeah.
little rough around the edges, you know? You know.
Laundromat's exactly that, and it's also a place where you're gonna bump into just anybody anyway if you need
Yes.
to use one. So let's just pack a
Everyone
bunch
was so
of
respectful too. Like
Yeah.
everyone was
So
so
respectful.
like, you know, like it was such a good time, man. Like it was just like nobody was there. Everyone was just there for a good time and like to
Yes.
support and
Yeah.
all the art. Shout out to all the artists there. They killed it. Like
Yeah.
such a like good job as well. Like curating that.
Thank you, bro.
like you know
everybody.
what I
Shout
mean?
out every artist that brought out anything because I didn't
one.
see a piece that I didn't want to bring home with me.
No,
Fuck
exactly.
There was beautiful,
We
incredible.
gotta do it
art
again,
there.
man. We'll do
No,
it better,
absolutely.
even better.
Absolutely, we gotta find
Yeah.
like a factory, bro, and like we'll deck it out.
Definitely.
You gotta bring
We'll
like
do
a
it
12
big.
by 12.
I got semis. I gotta do it.
yeah.
Fucking
Lube XL ain't gonna cut it. Yeah, double XL.
transport a whole
I got
wall.
like a 6x8.
That's fire. Okay.
We'll definitely be doing some like I want to do some of my own shows as well this year too.
bro, I'll
so
be
like
there.
you guys are more than welcome. Like
I'll be
please
there.
come through and like obviously Ed will be a part of it. Like
Hell yeah.
a bunch of other artists I've been talking to. You know what I mean? I want to. There's speak like murmurs of a Baker's Club event in the works, which would be more to be announced. You know what I mean? But like a lot of different. Like we say, a lot of different things, like hip hop being a party. It's like all the elements are considered in it, and in a single event. So it's gonna be fucking sick. Yeah.
I agree, bro. I'm excited. Like, I'm
I feel
excited.
like there should be a bake sale. This just makes sense.
That would be lit as fuck.
Yeah.
We fucked up. We didn't think about that.
Fucking bake sale.
Yes.
Baked goods.
Welcome
What?
to the Baker's Club Bake Sale.
Yo,
Slow down.
that would probably be fucking sick, actually.
I
More to be announced.
Just
Shut up.
So I just thought of that. My bad.
No. That was great. That was a great hypothetical, yo.
I'm gonna write that idea on my
Yeah.
weird notepad now.
that weird doodle.
Yeah.
Doodle pad.
Merch, baby.
Fuck yeah. What's your guys' like creative process? Like you just wake up and paint, or you guys got a little ritual?
I usually get an idea in my head, like I sort of envision what I would like an end result to be. It'll just kind of come to me, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I know what I want to do," and then it never, ever, ever turns out that way. Not even fucking close, but it gives me a starting point.
Yeah.
And then I feel it out. I always just feel it out. I have my influences, and there's things that I really like to do. Like I'm a huge fan of Ralph Steadman. He did all the art for Hunter Thompson, like Fear and Loathing and shit like that.
Great film.
So,
crazy
like,
ink shit, right?
All, all that crazy
yeah.
ink shit. He's a huge influence on my art.
That's
like,
sick. I can see that. For
I
sure.
can see
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Big influence on me.
You didn't bring any ink stuff to that though. Like
No,
you just saw it all
I
paintings.
just brought out the
Next time you
paintings.
should bring those out because they're like a totally different style. Like they're hype.
Yeah, for sure. I can totally do that,
bro.
But the paintings, the process itself, I don't normally let people see me paint my stuff. But there's
agree with that.
Almost always a lot of water involved. I use mostly latex paints and canvas, but there's water involved, there's fire involved, there's smoke involved. Sometimes there's glue. Sometimes there's violence involved. Like it's just paint what you feel.
I feel so heard right now.
In late 2022, I abandoned the paintbrush entirely. And
You abandoned the
I
paintbrush.
abandoned it
I love
entirely, and like I learned something neat the other day. You can put on rain pants and paint, and then that'll protect your clothes. I went the other direction.
You ran
Like,
past
well,
the
you can't stain clothes you're not wearing, right?
Wait, what? Explain.
Somebody put me on to
paint?
like putting rain. I saw it in my Instagram story that this girl like works with art, and she was wearing like fucking
paint suit.
like rain pants.
Yeah, so it doesn't get
you know what I mean?
splattered
So
and
I was
shit,
trying
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
pants. I was like, well, that's so much smarter than my neighbors probably think I'm crazy because my apartment is mostly windows right now, and I'm pretty shameless. So like, I just like be painting and like.
But he's
just
literally
shorts.
made paintings to like create privacy. Like I'm not even
Yes,
joking.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's like
Those
a
are your
privacy wall of
curtains.
paintings. Yeah, it's so funny.
Fucking love that.
Yeah, it is like
Yeah,
painting
I use
curtains.
a lot of
Exactly.
elements.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Sometimes
Good
there's
point.
glue, spray paint. I love using spray paint. Spray paint's
Okay.
fun too. But I recently got into pastels. Pastels are a lot of fun.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, paintings. I just kind of feel it out. Music. I like to make the music with the producer.
Okay.
I like to work with one producer for every single album.
Actually,
Like,
you know what? This is a
never-
good time to explain this a little bit.
That
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
This is my Anti-Gravity Asylum album. Came out in 2018. It's
Very
the only
weird.
one that I've committed to vinyl.
Very
and
weird.
Physical.
Very
It's
weird.
it's entirely produced by One Life Music Group. Sidney Johnson. Shout out him.
Dope.
Yeah, it was music like I've never made before, and I've never made it since. And yeah, I was going through a weird point in my life, and I just wrote it all down, man.
Love it.
What can I say? And it's like the most honest album I've ever done. It feels like a trip. It feels like drugs from beginning to end. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, fire.
It's best done with psychedelics. I would highly recommend
Okay.
that.
I love that.
Agreed.
I'm not advocating.
Thanks, Coachman.
I'm not
saving this.
advocating drugs or madness to anyone, but they've worked for me.
Man, psychedelic drugs,
Psychedelic
They
drugs,
won't
yes,
hurt you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
no hard drugs.
No hard. No,
support
never,
that.
never.
Never
hard
ever
drugs.
in my life.
Never
ever.
in
Fuck
my
that
life
shit.
have
No,
I.
no.
ever
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
That's actually a point of pride because, like, I know I look youthful and exuberant, but I'm kicking 40's door down.
Good for you,
I've
man.
never even tried cocaine.
You're
So
glowing,
I-
Edward. You're glowing.
Right at this point in my life, it's like a point of pride. I'm like, why am I going to break that
No,
streak? I'm
fuck
fucking
that, man.
killing it.
I like that.
No
I
facts.
can't say I've never done things like, tons of mushrooms and acid
Ah,
by
man.
the bucketful. but-
Freeze!
Oh my god! Narky dentist.
Wearing a wire.
Oh,
Nah,
that's
I
harsh.
respect
Yeah.
that, man.
Damn, bro.
Shout out to you for this album, bro. I love it. And Harvey,
Dude,
what's
I
your?
hope you enjoy it.
Oh man, I will. I'm
Music has taken me to some pretty cool places. I've been able to I've had the
Facts.
opportunity to perform in like Manhattan and
Yeah,
Rochester.
it took both of us around the world,
Went
right?
on
Like
tour.
it's
yeah, bro,
for
you
sure, man.
performed in incredible places in front of lots of people, man. I'm small scale compared to the really fucking cool shit you've done.
Stop it.
Come on now, pal. friendship.
All right.
You guys have
I'm blushing.
a favorite venue or performance you've been to?
A favorite band.
Been to or performed?
Performed at.
I had a really, really good time opening up for R.A. the Rugged Man one time at the Hard Luck.
Ooh.
The crowd was pretty big. It's not like I head counted or anything, but I was doing a really old set. Like, my first album was not even done yet. So I was doing, like, old, weird stuff. And I had a song that sounded kind of like broken circus music, and it had a solo in it. And I made the music, and I intentionally put a weird, drunk-sounding, like, trumpet solo in it so I could do what I called a beer solo on stage and, like, chug a pint of beer.
Speaking of which, can you pass me a beer?
Yeah, dude.
Smooth segue.
So, like, yeah, the crowd was just really responsive. Like, I fell off the stage at one point and then did a somersault back onto it, and everybody was fucking cheering. It was fucking great.
That's showmanship.
Yeah, it was just a wild, cool, fun, crazy. I had strategic, because, you know, I'm a dick. Megs was there. I had strategically placed crowd ninjas, and I'm like, yo, you guys got to come up to the front when I go on.
Love
Because
that.
the smoking section
Get
was a
some
thing.
plants.
We were a 7-person unit, so I had 6 strategically placed crowd ninjas with our friends in
Lit.
the crowd. So
Oh,
I, like,
sick.
kind of forced everybody else to come up and be like, oh, what's this all about then?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, showtime.
Average rap band. Average rap
Average
band.
rap
What's
band.
this all about then? Looks neat up there.
Well, other people are paying attention to it, so maybe I
So
might give it a
peculiar.
try too. This sure seems neat. I listen to the hip hop.
Oh boy.
Love that. I fucking love that.
Yeah,
Yo,
so that was a
That
fuckload
sounds
of
like
fun.
a fire show.
And,
How about
I
you,
won.
Harvey?
I won some contests.
What's my favorite venue I performed at?
Yeah, or do you have a show that sticks out?
There was one time, all the craziest shows I played are in Luxembourg because our homies just got dope plugs there kind of
Okay.
thing. So there was this one time I was playing, it's called E-Lake Festival. So it's like a festival out in like kind of the countryside, like classic French countryside sort of thing, and then like tents and everything. But then we like were VIPs, and there was like a whole artist village. Like it was tents. There was like a gin and tonic station and like a cheesecake like fridge, and like they're like, want to make an omelet for you? Like it was all. I was just like, Jesus Christ. We ate 3 dinners, and then but of course my homie Steve. Shout out to the other Steve, bro. Who I'm making a video game with right now, but he's a dope ass. He's a coder,
Shout
but
out
he's
Steve.
also he's a dope ass producer as well that I worked with in Amsterdam. But he brought like vape pens or whatever, and he's like, this lasts me a month, and he got 3 of them. One lasted a month. They were gone in one day. I swear to God, we were just like, let's go get dinner again, go get dinner. But like, and then there was like kegs at every stage, like, and there were like 5 stages, and like, so like you could just like be like, what up, and then you like catch every artist or whatever, and then we performed. It was dope. It was like, I don't know. The festival was big, but the stage we were doing was like maybe probably 4,000 people. Like it was awesome. But then the crazier part about this is, I don't know whether it's like the best. Like I played a couple other shows, like almost 20,000 people in Luxembourg as well for the Duke's birthday. But it was like a block party, so it's not really a venue. But there, so it was this crazy rainstorm, right? Like the worst thunderstorm you've ever been in, and we're in tents and shit, and like speakers are getting, everything was fucking chaos or whatever. And then my Jordans are just sabotaged. I somehow I recovered them, but like they're just like
Jordans are resilient.
they were like in a fine
Yes.
paste around the whole. I was like, these
They're
are fuck,
moist.
I just got these. It was brutal. But then the next day, like we get out of there, we do our show, like we have crazy fun time. The weather kind of chills out a bit. It's still kind of shitty, but we get back to my homie Yeti's spot. Shout out to Yeti. He's another dope producer from Luxembourg, and he's got a dope spot there, like in Luxembourg. But everyone's calling us. We wake up in the morning, and there's like 20 messages from all of us. Like everyone's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" And we're like, "What the fuck? What do you mean?" And apparently there was a tornado that ripped through Luxembourg City, which was literally like 10 kilometers away, and we're literally in like a tornado storm, like in tents. Like, so if it had like changed position at all, we'd just all be dead. Like, like it was, and we were like, went great. Like, and we were like, oh shit. Like, okay. Like,
Yo.
so it was one of those moments where I was like, that was a crazy ass night. It
That
was
is
so
fucking
crazy.
Again, you made it.
Yeah.
You fucking made it.
And then my psycho ass friend Chris, he took our passes. He's not an artist or anything. He took our guest passes because it was an all weekend festival, and we're like, I want to go to the festival again. And he biked with the passes so he could go get free food.
Yo,
And like just
legend.
get all the accent. He's like, you remember me from yesterday? Like, cause he was rolling around with it. I was just like, this guy,
Hustler
what a
for
fucking
real.
legend. Like,
That's
just
legendary.
biking to the French countryside with his VIP pass. Like, I was like, what is
Fucking
happening,
love
bro?
that, bro. Yo, you're making me want to book a damn trip to Europe, man.
Yo, do it, bro.
Paint
do
a
it.
picture, yeah.
Do it
fuck
soon.
Yes. ASAP. I fucking love that. Yo, I've been meaning to ask you guys this actually. Both of you, explain your names. Harvey Dentist. How'd you come up with that name? Assuming that's not your birth name.
My
That's my
yeah.
Assuming that's
My
not your
first
company.
name is Dentist, and yeah, real dentist. No, Harvey Dentist is like kind of like the Two-Face from Batman is
Yep.
Harvey Dent, and then like I don't even know if it was that clever, but I was like dentist, like like it's different. But now I'm like, because I'm fresh, like it's fresh, like a dentist, like so. Because everyone asks like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
There's
Like, what
100
does that
angles
mean?
you can-
yeah.
there's
You
so
know,
many
like-
angles you can
So
use.
over the years, I've gotten clever answers, but pretty much I was just like, that's kind of clever.
It works so
Yeah.
well at the dentist office now.
Yeah, man,
there's
like the
such a
whole
sick-
motif and
Oh,
shit. Yeah, it's really been dope, man. Like, it was just more so just like embedded in rhyming clever and speaking clever. Like, it was just like in the rap process, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, you know, you just come up with punchlines.
Some
So I was
fly
like, Harvey
shit.
Dent, you just say, you know, like, yeah, like Salvador Dalai Lama, like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. There, like,
Some-
I think some Karma rap that
some
on
action
esoteric, but like you know what I
Bronson
mean, like
style
those like
shit.
those like
Yeah.
mashes, like where you're like, oh fuck, like
That's
I
crazy.
didn't think of that. Like that's so genius, but whatever. Like, not saying the name's genius.
with
Salvador
that.
Dalai Lama was good,
It's a great name.
but yeah, it just kind of stuck. I don't know, like I had a couple other names, like, and then that one I was just like, oh, that's it, and then it's been that for time now, like.
Harvey Dentist, a hard ass name, bro.
Yeah,
It's awesome. It's memorable. It's
Yeah,
like,
same
it
with
sticks
Ed
in your
Weird.
brain.
Ed Weird. Explain.
Ed Weird.
Well, I had a couple of other names when I first started rapping. When I was like really terrible.
Don't say
at
them
it.
too. I refrained
Yeah,
from saying
yeah,
them. I was
I'm
just like
not
about
holding
to say, and I was like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't do
dropping
that.
those ones. So I landed on Ed Weird mostly because I kind of remember as a little kid my dad called me that because my government name is Edward. So it's not that big of a change.
Yeah. I assume. I hope so.
I changed 2 letters.
Mine.
And also, like, I guess I grew up listening to Weird Al. He's just been a huge
legend.
influence in my
Huge
life.
legend.
And yeah, it was easy to land on as soon as I like thought it was like Ed Weird. Well, yeah, absolutely.
No, it's a lit
that
name.
that leaves it wide open. I can do whatever the hell I want with that.
Yes. Love
Right?
that.
I don't
Well,
know.
my pops even like when we started working in the summer, I was like sending demo. I was like send demos to my dad or whatever and check and whatever, and he's like, yeah, this is like Migs and Ed Weird. He's like, Ed Weird. Like,
I like that.
that's a good name. Like this like 70-year-old dude,
Yes.
like just like it's a sick ass
works.
name, and like he literally like
All right, I
like
felt
during
like
the holidays, I was visiting them like out west, and like he'd just be out and was having a beer, and like there'll be like a silence, and he's like, Edwards, it's a good name. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Thinks about it.
Yeah. Like he's having a
Regular.
private thought still. He's like processing, like it's fire. Yeah, it's fire.
Shout out,
that's what
shout
you
out
know.
Bob Weird.
Yeah, Bob
Yes.
Weird.
Salute Bob Weird.
Yeah, he's
Weird.
calls him Bob Weird. My dad's
dad's
name Bob.
Bob Weird.
Yeah.
I love that. Yo,
That's
I
fire.
fucking love that, bro.
Yeah,
Yo,
I guess. Sorry,
No, go
sorry
for
to
it,
cut you
man.
off. I
No.
guess I didn't want to like pigeonhole myself into anything violent or in sort of a genre that I didn't that I wasn't.
no,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a great.
You know what I
when you
mean?
name yourself like a violent name or something like that,
Yeah.
it's like
I'm like just
Only
to
so
make
far you can
something
go.
up, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
QM
yeah,
shooter.
yeah.
Like, I'm not. What the fuck is that? Like, nope, don't live that life.
Nah. Yo,
Sorry,
don't
I can't-
disrespect
I can't
QM
be that.
shooter, bro.
My bad, yo. My bad, QM shooter. If you're real,
That sounds like
I
actually
just
a fire.
made that.
Yeah,
right
it does.
now.
Yeah. That
Shit. Oh god.
definitely rocks a ski mask.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
I guess I'm taking an Uber home.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
No facts. That's cool though. Yeah, that's
That
cool.
is sick.
Yeah.
Yo, fucking
That's all.
awesome to chop it up with you guys, man. I want to ask,
Absolutely.
is there anything that you want to promote? Any work that you got coming out that you want to take some time to plug? The floor is yours.
Do you got a show coming up? You got any more art shows coming up?
Yo, I definitely will. I don't know when or where or how, but we'll fucking make it happen.
All right. Well, I'm
You guys
pre-plugging
have
that.
to be there.
Whatever
Yo,
he
I'm
does,
down,
go to
I'm
that.
down.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely future projects like in the next little bit. Like I said, I just did several art pieces for Raz Fresco and Cookin' Soul, which are going to be dropping in succession in the next couple weeks.
Dope.
And then I also that collaboration with Billy Esco and the Six Letter, and all produced by Raz Fresco. It's called the Cream Tape, and that was the Dragon Ball themed one. And like there's so many more in the chamber, bro.
There's a
Like
lot.
it's like we're kind of like ahead of releases. So there's gonna be a lot of cool releases for Bakers Club this year for sure. For sure.
I love that, man.
Yeah, man.
Super consistent.
As for
Hell
me,
yeah.
I got a new album coming out, produced entirely by my boy Malcolm. Goes by Blind Vibrations.
Nice.
He's a,
Shout out to Malcolm,
an
bro.
incredible producer, mixer, master. Everything.
He's been through here a few times.
Yeah,
Incredible.
he's been over.
Incredible
Love
producer,
working with
yo.
that guy. Just in the
Yeah.
pocket, making music with him. So that's going to be coming out sometime. I imagine in the next maybe 3 months or so.
Nice.
Otherwise, I just be making art constantly.
Just doing your thing.
Yeah, man.
I fucking love it, man. Cheers to you guys, bro. Cheers one more time.
Cheers.
Cheers,
What,
gentlemen.
shout out
great
Kyle
time.
and the Migs in the
Yo,
background.
Migs.
Shout out, Migs.
Killing the
You been
Mario
on the couch.
Fuck
Mario
yeah.
World or 3?
Mario 3.
Oh shit.
If I can say one thing before we're done,
Please do.
this is sort of my little thing I've adopted, but whatever you're doing to do better, keep doing it. You're doing great. I believe in you.
Hey.
Very well said, man.
Nice.
What's your Instagrams? Shout out your IGs.
Mine is Harvey _dentist.
Mine is Ed Weird Noise. Figured out.
Follow the guys, man. Shout out to Bakers Club as well. Doing
Yo, shout out
great
Bakers
work in the
Club.
city.
Shout out Baker's Club.
Hell yeah.
Shout
Raz
out.
They're a
Fresco, the
movement.
6th letter.
Shout out Raz
Funk
Fresco.
Low. ALS. Fuck, I'm gonna miss Eric Wright. Who else? Grit Paul. Of course. My bad, Grit.
Real
There's a
people
lot- there's a
doing
bunch more
real
there.
cool shit.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm sipping here. I'm
Shout out the whole
a
team.
loss.
Yeah, man.
Yo, appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you too, brother.
Versatile Vigilante 2024.
Hell yeah.
Fucking out here, man.
Peace.
You know it.